Once again, good morning to you all. Be blessed by the divine. We are here to celebrate the International Yoga Day with some special programs today, and we have a discussion on divinity leads us to virtues, or virtues is because of divinity. And after that, we have a special lecture from senior professor from Alia. Senior Professor Balachandranaya is joining us from Alia for the special lecture on the International Day of Yoga. So we'll start today's proceedings with the decision. Over to Muthu sir.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to every one of you. Nice to see all of you after a week. And today we plan to celebrate International Yoga Day. We completed in Tamil session. So we are duplicating exactly what we did in Tamil. So we are going to have for next 40 minutes a debate session. And as Kumaresan sir explained, the life is not an easy, understandable journey. It is always full of ups and downs, challenges, that too, between a storm and an earthquake. And it is full of uncertainty. What will happen tomorrow about the future? It is simply like a question paper for exam. So every minute it is like a question paper, we don't know. This is what most of the people we believe life is all about. But all our ancestors, great sages, great scholars, they all wanted us to enjoy a blissful life in this earth. When I make a coffee, definitely I would like the coffee to be excellent. I will not prepare coffee with a poor quality or poor taste, right? Because I am creating it. Similarly, God has created all of us, and definitely God doesn't have intention for us to have with sadness or problems or challenges. God wants us not only to enjoy happiness, to enjoy the bliss. This is what the realized people, the great scholars had said. And for that, they have given us a lot of scriptures, literatures, and the religion. The purpose of religion is to guide us to live a blissful life. Now, if you put all those scriptures, advices, literatures, ancient literatures, everything in a mixie, and take the essence of it, and it comes out as two important points. This is what our ancestors have said. The first point is why we are living. What is the purpose of our life? What for I am living, and what is my purpose? What is my objective? What is my goal? That is self-realization or divine realization or enlightenment of consciousness or mukti, moksha or liberation. That is nothing but realizing the presence of divinity in me and everything. So this is called divine worship. Why we do divine worship? To realize the presence of divine in everything, in everyone, everywhere. So that's the first point. The second most important point, how to live, they define. Now, why to live is the first point, which is a divine realization. The second point is how to live. How to live is a virtuous way of life. Unless I live virtuous way, that means with the morality, means I will not give pain to myself or to others, or I will help to those to the extent possible. Whoever is having a pain, I will help. And also I do my duties. So these three factors define virtues. Morality, no pain. Duty, I do my duty. And charity is whatever help possible I do. These three put together is called virtuous way of life. This is how we should live. If I don't follow this virtuous way of life, then I am again get into the cycle of births, which will continue forever. And the great poet Valluvar has mentioned us, it is like an ocean, everybody is taking a birth. So ocean is so big, and we are also taking again and again and again, because something is wrong somewhere in our lifestyle. How to live, people are not following. So today's debate is only these two things, which is the essence of every scripture and every scholar's advice. One is the divine realization or the divine power, getting the divine power or realizing the divine power. The second is virtuous way of life. Now the debate is, many people have said unless you live virtuous way of life, unless you follow morality, you can't have divine realization. You cannot achieve divine realization. So if the virtuous way of life only strengthens the divine realization, this is a point. The one, we have a team, they are targeting, they are telling that, they are insisting that virtuous way of life strengthens the divinity, the realization of divinity. Whereas we have another team. For us, first let's go through the team A, who is going to talk about that. Virtues leads to divinity. Virtues strengthens the divine realization. We have our our professor Kumaresan sir, who has been serving this SKY system for the last 12 years, starting from Canada and then Abu Dhabi and here. And here he has been supporting us like anything, like 24/7, 365 days, because anytime something is required, he is available with full of resources, not only to give a lecture. Even I need a PowerPoint, immediately he sends it within fraction of minutes. I get the PowerPoint, so I don't keep anything in my computer. When I have an encyclopedia, which is Kumaresan sir, and also he is following the principles of Vedatriyam in his life. And even WhatsApp, he is not using it. Such a sincere follower of Vedatriyam. We are blessed to have him with us in Qatar for the last 4 years. So he is going to lead that team. Along with him, we have Assistant Professor Assistant Professor Ramu, and he has been with the system for more than 12 years, but he is with us for the last 4 years, and he is also a sincere follower of Vedatriyam, and he has been helping us with all our vision classes, regular Friday classes, either introspection or exercise, anything, any programs like that. Always he has been supporting, and the way he speaks, you can very well understand how much he is following Vedatriyam in his life. Actually, I have to tell this to everyone, because all of our team members, they are following Vedatriyam, otherwise they cannot be in our team. So he is also a sincere follower of Vedatriyam, and he is going to join hand with Professor Kumaresan. Now the second team is telling that no, not virtues strengthens the divinity. Divinity is the purpose. Only divinity can make you to follow the virtuous way of life. So divine power strengthens to follow virtues in our life. So divinity leads to virtues. This is what the second team is putting their points, and it is led by our Assistant Professor Anandaraja, and he was one of the founder for our Qatar SKY year back to 2002, and since then he has been supporting our SKY system in Qatar, and he has been the master in charge for the Alcor Center for all those years. And how it was 10 years before in Alcor, now how it is, they themselves have more than 10 APTs, so many masters, and now they have a lady session exclusively for ladies, even through online Zoom sessions. So they have been doing an excellent job in Alcor under his leadership and guidance. In addition to those services, he is a great leader, speaker, great thinker, and a lot of creativity. And he has been following Vedatriyam, as I said, in his life also. And such a great person we have today to lead that team. Along with him, we have real teachers. We are all teachers in our SKY system, but he is a real qualified professional teacher, Assistant Professor Usha Rani. She has been with our system for more than 7-8 years. She has been teaching the vision students as well as our youth empowerment students in Alcor community. And recently she gave speech in our Doha class as well. And she is also, her husband is also an assistant professor, and they both are doing the great service to the community in Alcor. And she is a great speaker because he is a math teacher, and always she talks logically and she interacts with the students, and she makes sure that the attendees understand the concept very well. So we have really excellent team with us for today's debate session. But always debate is not so nice unless somebody argues with them, like a public prosecutor in a court, right? So these four are definitely scholars, but they can't just come and tell some some nonsense statements. No, we have two lawyers with us, and one is Master Venkatesh. Where is he? Yeah, Master Venkatesh, he has been with us since long back 2009 or 2010 periods. He has been always behind the scenes, but doing excellent service for us. Whenever we need Kaya Kalpa book or meditation instruction sheet, he is the one who sources it. I don't know how he sources it, but he provides it before the time. And 2 years back, and even last year, and even this year also, 85 students wrote vision exam. 4 days, 3 hour session, and we need a proper place to conduct the exam. And how can we conduct these exams? That was a big challenge for us. And he was the one who arranged a training center, got a special permission from his camp. And literally, even I wrote my MSc exam in my Tirunelveli in one of the school, and the bench was with 1,000 holes. And then second day only I took my pad to write the paper there. Whereas all those students wrote in an excellent air conditioned, well designed training room. And he has been doing a great service, and he is also following Vedatrium with us, and he is a good speaker. He has a great voice as well. So with he is going to take the role of public prosecutor to object if any of the speakers tell anything wrong. Along with him we have Arut Chelvi Anurata, and she is with us for the last 2 years. And she has been a very sincere student out of all vision students, and vision students, all of you know it. And maybe whenever she has a doubt, she tried to get it cleared on the same day. And lot of questions, lot of discussions I had. And she has been following our system as well, along with her husband again. And she is also a good speaker. And the moment I asked her, she said, yes, no issues. And it is a tough task for her, because we invited her only 2 days before for this debate, and she was so kind enough to join us. So this is the team we have, and I'm sure you all have some idea now about virtues strengthens the divinity, or divinity strengthens the virtues. Keep those ideas with you. Let us hear from these great scholars, assistant professors, and what everyone is talking, and then we will go to the final judgment after they finish their arguments. So now I invite Professor Kumaresan to start with virtues strengthens the divinity. Thank you, sir. Please.
Again, good morning all. Be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine, be blessed by the divine. So let's start. So the question here in front of us is virtues leads to divine, or divinity leads to virtues. So I'll start my just saying a couple of points before leaving it to Ramu sir to add more points. So suppose, as explained, the goal of our life is attain divinity or divine realization. So imagine we want to go to a destination. Suppose we want to go from, say, one place to another place. We first define the goal, or where we are reaching. Now we need to choose the path and the medium in which we go. Which road we take, or which, we are taking a car or a bike or a flight or a train. These kind of things you need to decide. So the path has to be designed clearly. That is what we are saying. The virtue is the road which leads to the divinity, which is our goal, which everybody's goal. So that is what my point of contention. And also, there are a lot of examples in this world where just by following the path of virtues, people have attained the divine realization. For example, the best example I see, we all know, is Mother Teresa, who basically, who just did the virtues, taking care of people rejected by the society, who are, leprosy, and, people who are left without, homeless kids. And that's what she started off, and she built a big, mission, charity mission, where the missions of charity based in Calcutta. And she was just doing the virtues, of taking care of people, showing love and compassion to the people who have been rejected by the society. So by just doing that, she attained divine realization, right? So there are people who have chosen the path of virtues to reach divine realization. Now I hand over to Ramu sir to add more points to our team.
Now, all the participants, I request to listen carefully what each one is talking, because we are going to ask you to vote for what is your choice. Virtues leads to divinity, or divinity leads to virtues. So now, whatever understanding you have, try to understand each one's views, and then you come to a conclusion. Yeah, now over to Professor Ramu, please.
Very good morning to all aspirants today. We are in a happy occasion celebrating the International Yoga Day. Today I am going to justify my points on virtues leads to divinity. Life is having a purpose. It's a great journey that we all know, correct? Having this life, we have to do some great things because as Muthu sir and Kumaresan sir said, the journey has to be followed through a path. In one of the live example of our Maharshi in his life, he was given with the coconut, a tender coconut. He was tasting that tender coconut and saying, how tasty is the sea water. Is that true? People were confused. Why Maharshi is saying like that? Then he started explaining the sea water evaporates, and it becomes condensed and comes as a rain. This droplets of rain becomes river, going through ups and downs, become waterfall, canal, everywhere. It goes to a plant and it reaches to the top of the tree and becomes a sweet, tender coconut. So the transformation, the path is explaining in such a way. Same way, human birth is a wonderful journey. We have to pass through all the ups and downs, challenges in such a way that following a virtuous way of living that takes you to the divinity. To justify this point, there is a great saying from one of a famous Tamil poet, Avayar. She's a lady poet. She says in her attitude, keep the desire to follow virtues. The divinity automatically comes in. Keep the desire. That itself takes you to the divinity. This is my point, sir.
I think I just want to ask whether public prosecutor has any point against him or he can proceed with the second point. Any objections?
I
Yeah,
have a
sorry.
question.
Yeah, please.
Good morning to all. Be blessed by divine. Be blessed by divine. Be blessed by divine. Okay. Ramu sir has said, just keeping desire will leads to virtues. My point is, or question, is it just enough to have a desire to live with virtues? Is it not required to execute? For example, today morning I wake up. I just wish to make a food for my family. Will that merely fill their stomach? Can you please explain?
You are really a lawyer now, and yeah, it's that's a very very valid question. Yes, sir. Now it's to you to.
No problem. I will take this question and I'll answer this. So your question is desires, right? So I will go by the saying. We have a general saying, right? You know, if there is nothing in, if it's an empty container, what can you take out of an empty container? You can't take anything. It's empty. So my question, I will reverse your question. You said if you have a desire to cook. Now, without having desire to cook or without having thinking what to cook, if you go to the kitchen, can you make anything? Imagine you are not even planning anything. Instead of sugar, you add salt to the coffee. What will happen? That says it, you know. So you need to think. Then only it will come as action and words. If we don't think, nothing will come out of us. We will be like, you know, will not have any expressions from us. So so that is important. Even let's understand, you know, Abdul Kalam very clearly said, dreams. He asked every youth of India to dream, because only when you dream, in future, it will turn into words and action. So it will come into reality. Dreams only come to reality. So it is very important that we have to desire first. Then only if we have a desire, then only it will come as action and words. Knowing this very well, concept, even in our Maharishi concept, it clearly says about thoughts make a man. So thoughts only become a word and actions later. So similarly, knowing this logic very clearly only so many years back, this Tamil poet she has clearly said, be desire to do virtues. Once you have desire, it will slowly come out today or later, or it might, get imprinted in this universe, and it will come out through somebody. That desire will come out and good will happen to somebody, or later somebody will execute it. So for every execution, there is a plan and there is a thought first. Without that, an execution cannot happen. Thank you.
I think that is why all Indian women, girls, when they are girls, the parents start giving them a thought that no, when you go to your new house and get married, you have to cook. And the first day comes and they start it. I think it's a great response. Venkatesh sir, you have anything objection, or we can proceed with the second?
Yeah, we can proceed, sir. Let us
Sure.
wait for some more.
Yeah. Ram sir, you can keep continuing your points.
Thank you, sir. The second point which I am going to discuss with you is the karma theory.
Sir, please
Audio,
unmute.
please unmute. Yeah.
Sorry.
Start.
Yeah, the second point which I am going to justify in front of you is the karma theory, the cause and effect. Every action, there is a reaction, equivalent reaction, correct? Each action has the result. So God's action will come as a result in every human life. Our human life has a birth. So our response is to come out of birth, cut the chain of birth. To do that, there is a logical equation given by Maharishi: man plus blemishes equal to God. So to achieve God realization, man has to remove the blemishes. What are those blemishes? Ego, sin imprints, and illusion. So once realizing this understanding of removing blemishes, then only God realization will come. To justify this statement, another poet, the Valluvar, Thiruvalluvar, he narrated Tirukkural. So he categorized his whole complete part in the order of virtues in the first, then followed by wealth, then love. At the end, it leads to a divinity. So knowing this understanding, purifying our imprints in our current birth, that clears our birth chain and takes you to the divinity. That is my understanding. As a second point, I am justifying here. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, the team, you have any objections or any questions?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I have some comments.
Yeah.
Good morning to everyone. Ramu sir, you told virtue leads divinity, and you told Tirulur says he starts with, his poems with virtue, whereas in his first poem itself he is talking about the divinity. In my opinion, with the blessings of divinity only, we took this birth, or else we might have taken a birth as an animal or a plant. Then how virtue leads to divinity?
Great question. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take this question. So your question is, the human life itself is because of the divinity. Otherwise, you would have become any other animal being. So by Swamiji's teachings, we have clearly understood no animals. This birth is not because of an animal or a human. No, the cross birth will not happen between species. Yes, very clearly said. Not a monkey or a dog. As generally people say, you become a dog or a donkey if you do bad. So that doesn't happen. And he clearly says this cross is not available. And he has explained it very clearly in life before birth. And before this birth, we were actually our own parents. And that is it. So that is very clear that other species don't become like this. Even if you do not have the divinity, you will become other. That is not possible. And next, coming on to the point of the birth, the purpose of birth. The purpose of birth, as Ramu sir explained, is to remove the blemishes. You have some imprints in your, that is the reason we are born, to remove these imprints and attain divinity. If you actually got no blemishes, you're equal to God. So the purpose of birth itself would not have been required if there was no any blemishes in our genetic center. So we say, since we are born, we have blemishes. So to reach the divinity, that's the only way of reaching divinity is follow the virtuous path and slowly removing our sin imprints and reaching the divinity or divine realization.
Great, great. And yes, sir, Ram sir, I think Veday sir, if you have no objection, we can continue again.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Last point, the third point which I am going to justify is our Maharshi's principles of life. Each introspection course, we start with this topic. After knowing the purpose of life, to lead the life, Maharshi gave 12 principles. We start with 3 needs and 3 protections, which is common for all living things that we know. But followed by 2 more. They are 3 virtues and the other 3 are development of knowledge. So even if you see this order, virtue comes in first, then only the development of knowledge. The 3 are faith, understanding and realization. Unless you follow virtuous way of life, you cannot develop your knowledge on these levels. So by knowing this clear understanding from Maharshi, we are supposed to know following the moral values and following the virtuous way of life is the step that takes you to the divine realization. This is my point, sir. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And Venkatesh sir, you have anything to ask our Anurada sister?
Yes, sir. I have a question. There is a proverb says, people with material possession is not respected in the world. Similarly, those who without divine blessings does not have a place in the afterworld. It is everybody, I mean, all of us know this one. But Mr. Ramos has said, in my opinion, the divine blessings are required to live in this world also. It's not to the afterworld. For an example, I can say, we know everybody, Mr. Ratan Tata. He's the one, he's doing a great man. He's living an living example for our life with a full of virtues. But he has some unfulfilled wishes. In one of his interviews, he has stated that he had a wish to get married with a girl, but fate did not allow him. It seems the wealth he got did not give the life he needed. How it is possible? Why it happened?
Very nice and valid law point. I am sure you have studied somewhere BA in law, and he has given with a practical example which we have been seeing him. Actually, I had a little exposure to that particular company few months before. Actually, we were not knowing how to implement that particular money transaction. So we were suggesting, can we do it through your Oman company to your Indian company, which belongs to Tata? They said, no. Whatever rule is there, I need to follow Indian rule, and whatever rule there in your company, in your country, you have to follow it. Even if I lose any money in that transaction, we don't care. But let's follow the rules. First Indian company, we have come across with that strict discipline, So really your point is very valid. And it is not only from his level to the down to the earth. Every employee is following it. So now this is a real challenge to Kumaresan sir to answer this. Yes, sir.
Okay. Not only this question, I want to stress this. This question is into all of us. We all at one point of time definitely would have thought, I am following a virtuous path. Why am I not? Why am I getting pain? Or why am I not getting the results I need? Or Why I have to go to a stressful path or a path with more hurdles to reach my goal? While others, I don't see they're doing any virtues as I follow, but they get their results very clearly. So the answer to all this lies in my point, which says, even though we follow our virtuous path, the results given us, the pain or the pleasure are given to us, is based on the sin imprints to us, which comes as hereditary. We do not have access to those sin imprints because we maximum know how our parents are there. From our parents, we know to a great extent of how our grandparents were, but we are not aware before that what happened, what are those imprints which are coming through, and it has to come out. So that is the reason we do not know. Even though we are doing virtuous path, we are not getting the results or we are not getting the goals easily as others do when we compare with others. That's what we do. So it depends on what is the imprints. We need to believe on divinity because divine law does not have any partiality. We have very well learned that divinity doesn't have any partiality. It clearly takes about all the cause and effect theory and exactly gives at the right time what we want. So keeping that in mind, we have to be very careful. We need to follow the virtuous path continuously so that we not add more sin imprints in this current life. Also, there's a possibility of following the virtuous path. We can remove the sin imprints which has been coming through hereditary also. So as the more we do good, automatically the sin imprints go deleting off. So by being a virtuous path, we will not add sin imprints. Number two, we will also have the opportunity to the sin imprints and reach the goal of attaining the divinity at the end of this life, which is goal of our life. And I also like to add a point, following or explaining the divine realization concept to everybody is a little hard because everybody doesn't understand the concept of that. This is a higher concept. But when you go to any common person or even kids, we can, teach the virtues. We teach moral science to the kids, right? See, if you do good, you get good. If you do good, rewards God gives you reward in form of marks or in form of something. So, or if you do bad or if you do any bad, you will get pain. So this is very easy for people to understand, for everybody to understand. We do not have any intellectual capacity to understand the virtues. So my point is, it is easy to say the virtues to people and make people follow virtues and ultimately lead to the divinity. So let's all follow and live a virtuous path and attain divine realization, which is goal of our life. Thank you.
I think great virtues, how important it is to reach the divinity. There are many valid points and also answered very nicely by the team. Now let's jump to the next team. No. Only divinity can strengthen the virtues. So I invite Assistant Professor Anandaraja to present his team.
Thank you. Be blessed by the divine. Good morning to all of you. I'm very happy today in seeing you all on this International Yoga Day function of our Qatar Center through the Zoom app. When we talk about sowing a seed, the quality of the soil is one of the main factors which supports its growth. Is it not? The soft soil will always support better than the hard one. Similarly, when we talk about the virtuous life, it will always be supported by the quality, a soft quality, which we term it as the divinity or divine power. I mean, maintaining the divine consciousness in all moments of our life can only lead us to continue the virtuous deeds all through our life. The divinity is the base for virtues, and the divinity only can strengthen us to be on the virtuous deeds. That is what our team is climbing today. Now I invite Assistant Professor Usharani to add more points to strengthen our team.
It's a great start. Yes, sister can start now.
Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. A very good morning to all. Uh, yeah, I would like to extend my support to our team. Divine power leads to virtues. That is, divine power makes you to follow the virtues. Love and compassion are the qualities of the divine. Love makes life secure and pleasant. A person who is having love and compassion do not harm oneself or the others, physically or mentally, immediately or in the future. This is the morality. As even Kumaresan sir mentioned, the example of Mother Teresa, we also say the same point. The Mother Teresa's love and compassion only led her to the service, what she done. Okay, so the love and compassion is the divine quality that only leads her to the virtues.
So now I think she has taken the same example. Venkatesan sir, I'm sure you have something to object her or cross question her.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Please.
It's a what to say. You are telling that without divinity or divine blessings, one cannot live a life with virtues. If my understanding is this. But whereas I strongly say we took birth to remove our sin and receive the divine blessings. To remove our sin, to get the divinity, and we need to live our life with full of virtues. Then only we will get the divinity. This is my understanding and my comment.
So your question is, I think you can put the questions very little bit clearly. I'm confused. What you are saying?
I'll repeat again.
Yeah.
Madam told, without divine blessings, one cannot live a life with virtues. But whereas I am telling, we took birth to remove the sin and receive the divine blessings. We have to live a life to get the divinity. So our ultimate goal is to attain the divinity. Whereas to attain a divinity, we need to lead our life with virtues. Okay. So virtues leads divine.
Okay.
This is my understanding.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think his point is very, very clear and very valid as well. Yes, Mr. Anandaraja now.
Yeah, very well thought, and it's a good question. Let us take a practical life example. Maybe it may not be applicable for this COVID situation. Let us go back to pre-COVID life. Okay, when we decided to go for a tour, what will be the first thing we will be deciding? We have to finalize the place where we wanted to go, right? Yeah. So when we talk about going for a family tour, first thing we will decide, okay, for example, we will take it. We are going to go to Swiss for a week. Once that is fixed, then only we will be able to plan further whether what kind of visa is required to visit Swiss and which airlines are going and what is the air ticket, what will be the expenses, what are the money currency exchange we need to do. All those kind of things we will be planning based on the destination where we wanted to go, and we will keep that in our mind until we achieve that goal, right? I will come back to our discussion now. Similarly, when we have our life's goal, which is realizing the divine, even though virtuous like doing virtues, doing the virtuous deeds all through our life will result in divinity or realizing divine. That's okay. The point is valid. But other thing, when you have a kind of mindset which is fully occupied the goal, which is realizing the divinity, that will give a inner feeling to us, which will be like a divine consciousness. That feel only will strengthen us to be on the virtuous path, which is a part of our life. All through the life, we have to go through that, right? So that feeling only can drive us to be on the right path all through this life, and then we can reach the destination properly. That is what I'm saying as an answer. Thank you.
Sir, is it okay? Get convinced or?
Yes, sir. Let us go further, then we will see.
Oh, right. Okay. Great. Yes, sister, you can proceed.
Yes, thank you. And my second point is one of the great Tamil poet and philosopher Thiruvalluvar says in one of his kural, when souls unwise true wisdom's mystic vision see, the graceless man may work true works of charity. What it means here, a person who is doing virtues without grace is equivalent to a wisdomless person who understands the things orally in the book without understanding the meaning deeply given in the book. What is the depth of the meaning of the content he was not able to reach? It is equivalent. A person who is doing virtues without grace is equivalent to a person, wisdomless person who understands the book.
They both are really good, huh? Our Kumaresan sir and Ramu sir. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
So that's my second point, sir.
Okay.
As we know,
Yeah, carry on.
objections.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we are
as
trying to
know,
confirm. Is there any question on the
is there
second?
any
Yeah.
questions? Then I will carry on the second.
Our sister Anuradha, you have any questions, objections, any of you? So she has quoted a poet saying that without grace, if somebody even is doing a charity, it is like a bookish decision, need not be right. So virtues will not be there. This is what her point is. So any objections?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please.
Yes. What I am understanding, people who are living their life with full of virtues means they are blessed with divine power. Am I correct?
No,
Okay.
again, what is the question?
Their
Okay.
point is different. Yeah.
People who are living their life with full of virtues, it seems they are blessed with divine. They are blessed with divine power. This
It
is my
need not to
understanding.
be.
Need not to
Need
be.
not to be. Yeah, my point is the people who are having divine feeling, that feeling will strengthen them to be on the virtuous path. That is what our point.
Okay, sir. What was my understanding was, lot of people are with the blessings. It seems they have lot of wealth, power, etc. Are not living their life with the virtue. They are being misters. That's why I'm telling that there is some. I couldn't accept that
Statement.
blessings leads the virtue life. Because of the blessings, they are getting all wealth in their lives, whereas they are not living with the virtue. They are not going towards that.
Yeah. So.
I think you are quoting a quality of miserliness.
Yes.
Okay, okay. I will. I understood the question now. Let me try to explain more from our point of view. What I understand, people who are having the divine feeling and they are doing a lot of virtues, but some are seen as miser in our society. Is that right? That is the question?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, okay. I'm seeing that in a different point of view. See, each one of us has some policy which we may decide based on our own experiences in our life, right? So the person what you are quoting as an example, you agree that he has all the divine qualities and he's on the virtuous path. But only the miserliness or the charity part is not doing good, that good. That's what I'm understanding from your client. See, some people will have some kind of policies, as I was telling, because of their personal life. Like people who face a lot of struggles in their childhood, they may have some kind of decisions made. Whatever the highest level they reach in their life, they will maintain their simplicity all through their life. The others who are watching them or observing them may feel that what kind of person he is. He has all the quality and how much wealth he has, but why he's not doing this way? Why he is behaving like a miser? That is what will be the observation, but there could be a lot of reasons behind that. And but point is very clear here. If you maintain the divine feeling, and you will be driven through all the virtuous deed, and automatically the charity, which is one of the virtuous quality, will also be blossoming in his life at some point of time. Definitely, that is what my opinion.
Great.
Is it convincing?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sister, you have few other points or?
This following points may help him more understanding of this question also, the charity. Okay, as we know, quality of virtues are morality, duty, and charity. I would like to emphasize the person who is doing charity without grace, that is without love and compassion, is meaningless. Yeah. In general, we used to see some rich people or businessmen, politicians, and famous personalities used to do some charity work. But most of the time, if you analyze, their motto behind is either fame or publicity or some other expectations will be there behind. This cannot be considered as charity. So to explain further it, I would like to give some more examples also. A rich man once in a year on his birthday used to go to the orphanage with the 4 or 5 friends or some of the relatives to distribute sweets, good, grand meal and clothes. Is he doing the thing with grace? Or just he wanted to show off to someone? So on the other hand, some common people used to help the neighbors or the people who are in need with love and compassion and without any expectation. And even Maharishi says, charity is the outcome of the compassion that wells up in the mind on seeing the distress of others and the ardent desire to elevate their pain or suffering. So as Maharishi said, there is no objection, I feel.
Very valid point. And Ms. Venkatesh or Sister Anurada, anything? Okay, so now Anandaraja can conclude. Any other point is there, Sister? No.
There is one more point is there, sir.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Any time constraint?
No
Can
objection, no. Overruled.
The third point is, we want to know about how this love and compassion will be shown. This motherhood, as a mother's love, is the best example for the love and compassion. A mother has 2 sons. One is very intelligent, smart, and achieved good status in his life. The younger one is not as smart as the elder one. Because of some circumstances, he could have addicted to some ill habits. However, the mother will treat both of them equally. Even she will try to bring her younger son into a good status with love and compassion. If we develop such love and compassion within us, that is called divinity. So such divinity helps us to realize the presence of the divine in all the things and leads to virtues. Yes, sir.
Great.
Thank you.
Anything from Venkatesh sir or Anurada sister?
Sir, I would like to raise one question in this.
Please.
As Usharani madam said, rightly mentioned, mother treats all her children equally with divinity, love and compassion. We will take the same example. One child slips from responsibility of taking care of parents. The other child, who was more responsible, deserts them at old age. Then in this type of scenario, we are seeing many cases in nowadays, this scenario. Then where is the divinity in this type of situations? I would like to know.
Absolutely, it's a very valid and practical day-to-day issues. And yes, it's a challenging question for Anandaraj. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, mainly compared to the earlier generation, in our generation, we are seeing many of the real life examples around us, right? Yeah, really a challenging situation and great practical question. Okay, today when we compare, when we see the children compared to the earlier generation, today's children are not only hear what we say, but also they watch what we do. The parents, when they are doing the parenting, we should have the divine feeling, and with that feeling, naturally, when they are driven to the virtuous path, they will be rightly doing their duties in bringing up the children in a proper way. So the children will watch the parents how they feel. It has to be natural. It is not like just kind of preaching, telling the concepts, and we can bring changes in their life. It cannot be, because that is what current society is facing as a challenge. Many of the parents doesn't have time even in doing a proper parenting, and we will leave our children to the society to upbring. And later on, when they hear some good concepts in society also, not all the children can be driven to the right path. But whereas the parents itself, if they have the divine consciousness or divine feeling, naturally they will be driven to the right way of doing their duty, and they will be upbringing their children in a proper way. So that will not be resulted in such a situation like getting left in the old age home in their older age. That is what I'm saying. So that is the missing thing in our society today, and that is the need of our topic today also. So that is the way I'm putting up our team's opinion as.
So you are saying that you yourself are admitting that with divinity, but still people lack in virtues. You admit that that is what it is lacking today.
No, the divinity is
No.
lacking in the child, not in the mother. So the
Okay.
same quality of divinity has to come within the child also. It should be
Okay.
developed the child to follow the divinity, and the divine power should be there within him.
Okay.
Yeah, that
It's
is what that divinity has to be the base. That has to come from parents. That's what I meant. So
okay.
that base only can drive them to adopt their virtuous life whenever they come across a practical situation. That's what I meant.
Great, great, great. Venkatesh sir, sister, Anuradha, anything? Okay, great. Now we can conclude it, I guess. Anandaraj.
Yeah, okay. I will just try to add a few more points to our team as a conclusion. See, our guru, Vedatri Maharishi, used to mention that whoever can think progressively can easily understand the purpose of our life, because that is the first thing everyone has to attain when we talk about realizing the self or realizing the divinity, right? Once they understand what is a destination like divine realization and what it means exactly, so they will be acquiring that quality itself. As we see, the love and compassion is the basic quality of divinity. So once they acquire that quality as a base, that will be driving them to maintain the constant awareness in all the things they do. So that will be automatically driving them in a virtuous path. So I mean to say again, divinity can only strengthen the virtuous life. And with that point, I conclude. And thanks to all for the opportunity and listening us. Thank you.
Great, be blessed. It's a great arguments put forth by both the team members. And when we hear about virtues leads to divinity, we understand, yes, it is right and logical. Now, when we hear from them, we also understand this is also logical. So now here is a situation. Already I am seeing, I'm very happy to see that there are a lot of comments and discussions with the members, and I'm seeing each one is raising their point. So here is a poll for all of you to vote. Divinity leads to virtues or virtues leads to divinity? Please choose your choice. The first one is virtues leads to divinity and divinity leads to virtues life is the second one. Please, there are around 56 people here, so please give your choice based on the understanding of both the teams.
There are 50 people, only 24 have voted. More people to vote.
Yeah, I think it is in your front screen. You have to choose one of it. Just tick mark, put the finger on one of that and automatically it will be selected. And 54% voted. So we will wait for a minute more. So according to the members, 60% voted for divinity leads to virtuous life. 42% voted for virtues leads to divinity. And 60, it is like an Indian election. All great intelligent people don't vote, I guess.
There are a lot of messages even posted directly. I'm not sure whether they voted or just put the message only.
Okay.
You need to go to your screens and just move. Maybe the poll will come immediately.
I think like a baby, scroll the screens in front of you. I'm sure one of the screen will have these choices for you to vote.
I think that's the maximum stuff we can go.
Okay, great. So maybe the remaining one are either both or neither virtues leads to divinity or divinity leads to virtuous life. Yeah, it's a great topic for discussion, and we need to have very clear understanding about virtues as well as about the divinity, right? And if we don't have the proper understanding of both the words, which is most important, which is most powerful, which one leads to the other one, it really matters a lot for our day-to-day life. And we all want to live a blissful life. So we need to have that clear clarity, and that is why this topic is taken for today's discussion. And though the majority by the difference is around 8%, 14%, divinity leads to virtuous life. Let's have a deep understanding about each one now. We all know that the life is between birth and death. But what decides the quality of life between birth and death? The quality of life is simply based on the choices, the C between B and D, birth and death, PCD. The C refers to the choice. The choice I made until yesterday decides the quality of life I enjoy today. I chose to be an engineer, I am an engineer today. I chose the SKY path and I am a professor in that system. Whatever choice I made today will decide my future happiness and suffering. This is the law of karma, as Ramu sir put it in his lecture as well. So our quality of life depends on the choices I make. Now, wife is asking a husband, partner, my dear, just tell me whether my eyes are beautiful, or my face is beautiful, or my dress is beautiful, or my walking, which one is beautiful? The wife wanted to know from her husband. Obviously, everybody wants to know from her partner. Now the husband said, only one is very, very beautiful. So now the wife is so excited to know which is that which is so beautiful for her husband. Now the husband started explaining, the fact is nothing is beautiful, but you are asking everything is as if everything is beautiful. That is the beauty, I like it. Now, is this the virtuous way of making a choice? Obviously not. Maharishi has given a beautiful definition of virtue. It says in Tamil, Perar nalam kaathu thaan nalattai peruginra thiramaithaan aram enum sarappu seyal. In English, virtue is nothing but the ability to derive benefit by ensuring the other person is also benefited. That's all. So the ability to derive benefit by ensuring the benefit for others without compromising others' benefit. In Western people, they say win-win situation. Anything there, he also wins, I also win. That is win-win situation. That is a virtuous way of life. But are we able to always implement that win-win situation in everything we do? I went for lunch last Friday to one of my relative, sister-in-law house. And I was really appreciating the dish, what was made for my lunch. And it's a delicious gravy. So I was appreciating 2-3 times. Wow, it's so superb and in taste, delicious and things like that. And my co-brother immediately told, I was the one who cut the vegetable. So now it's a simple example, but are we able to apply the virtues by win-win situation? And definitely cutting the vegetable cannot decide the taste of the food. Actually, it is her effort, right? Cutting vegetable is one component of it, but that cannot decide. But he is not able to accept, right? And I sincerely hope he is not here in this today's session. But the point is, are we able to apply the virtuous in everything what we do from morning to night? But all our great ancestors said, what you sow, you reap. Now, if I give you a pain, I will get a pain. Definitely, I can't reach the destination for sure without following the virtuous way of life. So, the point is very clear. Unless I apply the virtuous in my life from morning to night, I can't clear my imprints. If I can't clear my imprints, the perfection or the mukti or the moksha or liberation or self-realization is impossible, because we are born because of our past imprints. And the only way to clear the imprint is to lead a good life now, lead a virtuous life now. If I can't follow it, I can't achieve the perfection. So now you may think, yes, the virtuous way of life leads to the divinity or the perfection. Absolutely, there is no doubt in that, because we have to change the quality of imprint I have. But don't jump to a conclusion, because I said virtues leads to divinity, no doubt in that. But are we able to apply the virtues in our day-to-day life from morning to night? Just a simple example I said in the dish. And not only that, I go to a restaurant, I ordered chapati. Now, before the chapati comes, I'm waiting for chapati and just look around, and another table, another person, unknown person, he just got the puri. Wow, it's a nice, without oil, buffet and all. My God, I should have ordered puri. Now, just I ordered chapati. Now, after seeing it, I'm thinking, oh, I took a wrong choice. I think in this restaurant, puri is so nice. Now, I can't change it, but the person is bringing it. Now, we are confused from morning to night. What is right for me? Not only from chapati, in everything. One person came from office in a bus, and he just entered the home, and he was just telling the wife out of curiosity, because, my dear, I saw a girl exactly resembling you. And he, oh, really? The wife asked, really? Yes. Then wife asked a question, was she beautiful? Now this fellow is out. If she says yes also, he is in a problem. If she says no also, he is in a problem. Now, typical life challenges are like that. Now, what great scientist Einstein says, the intelligence or the consciousness which created the problem cannot fix the problem, because he is the one who said, I saw a girl resembling you. The same consciousness cannot come to a conclusion, now yes, she was beautiful or she was not beautiful. Both answers is going to hurt his wife, because he asked a question, was she beautiful? Now, the consciousness which created a problem we are living today, because of our own consciousness, because of our own choices we made in the past, cannot fix the problem according to Einstein. I'm sure practically that is what it is happening. 20 years of married life, and the husband is still not happy with the wife, or wife is not happy with the husband, same problem persists. Why? The consciousness which created the problem cannot solve the problem. So now two things are required here. Number one, we have to make a right choice, so that not only we solve the problem, we progress in our life towards the purpose of birth. In order to do it, my consciousness is not enough. I have to raise the consciousness. That is why Maharishi has formed Temple of Consciousness, World Community Service Center, in which he teaches us different not only subjects and also practices to raise the consciousness, right? And to what level I have to raise my consciousness? Maybe for me, I have to raise my consciousness up to Balachandra sir, or I have to rise one more level up, or I have to raise the consciousness little higher than my wife consciousness. Will it solve my problem? Never. What all our great scholars and Maharishi says, you have to raise the consciousness to the level which created the problem. That is the divinity. The divinity is total consciousness. Unless I raise my consciousness to that level, I can't solve the problem. Now, the first challenge is I have to take a right choice in everything I do. That is possible only if I raise my consciousness to the divinity. So now the divine blessing is very important for this. The second is, now I know what is right. Everybody knows anger is good, anger is bad. But are we able to control the anger? No, because there is no enough willpower to implement what I chose as a right choice. Now to get the willpower, what should I do? This is what we are into the SKY system. They teach two important practices. One is a meditation, which gives willpower, and also keep our mind frequency in a lower level so that I don't do the mistake and whatever I chose out of introspection, I put into practice. So meditation and introspection helps a lot. Now, this is not alone enough, because I need to go to the level of divine consciousness so that I take a right choice in my life. Now, to do that, divinity is very, very important. For example, we have seen virtues leads to divinity. Unless I change my karma, I can't achieve the purpose of birth. Very clear, absolutely no doubt in that with the team one, whatever they said. But the practicality is, I am not able to follow the virtues because the simple problem, the root cause of the problem is we carry animal imprints. Because we carry 800 million years of animal imprints, that quality is so strong, I can't follow the virtues. If I ask for a coffee, coffee should be there like a coffee. She may call that as a coffee, but for me it is a hot water. Then I get upset. My consciousness is overruled by my emotions because of my animal imprints. How can I overcome that animal imprints? So you need to get the divine blessings with that divinity. Now I know, wow, why my wife is not bringing the coffee? Because she is also the manifestation of divine. And she has to act according to the divine law, according to my cause and effect, not according to my wish. According to the law of cause and effect, she is doing it. This is the first understanding everybody should have. That is what all spiritual organizations are doing it. The spirituality has to grow. Without the growth of spirituality, no world peace is possible, according to Maharishi in one of his poems. The spirituality is different from the religion. The spirituality is understanding the presence of divinity in me, in everyone, everywhere. That is the first understanding. Once I understand that, the divinity, then I have to realize the presence in me and presence in my wife and everyone. Once I realize that, then, wow, my wife is not bringing coffee because she is also divine. How can I object her? How can I criticize her? How can I get angry with her? Then the virtues will come by default very easy. If I don't have the blessings of divinity, understanding of divinity, the realization of divinity, then as if I have a car to go to my destination, but I myself have to push the car. As you know, I can't push even one table. How can I push my car to reach my destination? No way. In this cycle in this birth, it is impossible. But if I have some money to buy a petrol so that I can drive my car, that is the divinity. So if I can get some divine energy within me, I can buy a petrol and put it in the car and drive myself towards the destination in a very fast manner, achieve the purpose of birth. Now, how to get that divinity? Simple. The meditation. Meditation means there are two things. One, inside I have to realize my energy, and root of that life force is the divinity. I have to realize the presence of divinity in me. The moment I realize the presence of divinity in me, the same divinity is present everywhere. Then the outside meditation is I have to follow virtues. I can't object or criticize or conflict with what is happening around me. That is virtues. So if I can realize the presence of divinity in me, in everyone, in everything, then by default virtues comes very easily. I don't need to put lot of effort because 800 million years of animal imprints I have it. To overcome that, the divinity is very important. So to conclude, simple things. Number one, there is no second thought that only virtues can lead us to 100% divine realization. Absolutely no thoughts, no doubt about that. Only virtues can lead us to divinity, no doubt. But practically, it is impossible to do it because of animal imprint. But if we have divine understanding and divine realization, the first one becomes very easy. So, practically speaking, divinity is very important. If we have that divine realization, implementation of virtues becomes very easy, and by default we are able to apply it in our day-to-day life. So the conclusion is virtues are only way to reach the divinity, but in order to implement it, only virtues can lead, only divinity can lead us to virtues. So with this I conclude. I hope I have not confused any of you, and if you have any questions we can ask. And now let's go to the next one. Kumaresan sir.
Thanks, sir. Thanks everyone for this discussion. I will thank Anandaraja, Usharani madam, Ramu sir, Anuradha madam, Venkatesh for this participating in the discussions. And now let's move on to the next. We have Senior Professor Balachandran sir. You all know he has been with our organization for more than 30 years, and he has been backbone in developing all the meditation centers across the world outside of India, starting from Canada, USA, Middle East, Europe, even today Norway. All these things he and him, Jayanti madam and Raj share, all the three together. When we say him, it's always a team. All the three together work together and has been instrumental in having all these meditation centers. And we would like to have him as chief guest for this 6th International Day of Yoga celebrations today in Qatar. So let's listen from him. Over to you, sir.
Sorry, sir, we kept you on waiting. We took a little longer time than we expected. Yes, sir, please.
May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May we all be blessed with good health, long life, prosperity, wisdom, and peace. A good afternoon to all of you. In fact, you didn't keep me waiting. It was not boring. I was enjoying it. Even if it was longer, I would have enjoyed it. Very beautiful discussion on a very, very important subject, because this has always been a problem. If people are divine, have reached that state, why is it they're having problems in life? And the good people also suffering. This is a constant question, and Vedadri Maharshi has given very clear answers, and you people have discussed it so beautifully. So it's by this that we'll be able to develop ourselves, and I've been better off than what I was half an hour back. Thank you very much for your done. Thank you, Muthu ji, Kumaresan ji, Anandaraja, and the entire team in Doha and Qatar and Alcor. So Corona has helped us, in the sense that we are all sitting at home and doing meditations, having these interactions all over the world. So, and it's a very important day that you're all celebrating, the 6th International Yoga Day. Our organization has been closely associated with world peace. The very organization is World Community Service Center. So it is our day, because that is a dream, that is the mission, that's the mission of Maharshi. And way back in 1957, he wrote about world peace, the World Peace book, a masterpiece. He wrote it in Tamil, and he said it should be multilingual, so that the entire world can read, enjoy, and understand and implement it. So he himself translated it in English. So I think that's one of the very few bilingual books. And so that was the beginning. And from next year, he started this World Community Service Center. So until this book that he has written very clearly that in 50 years, people will slowly start appreciating. And 50 years is over now. And in 6 years back, our own Prime Minister went to the General Assembly and placed a proposal that yoga has nothing to do with any religion or language or nationality. Yoga is union of everything, not only at the physical level, at the spiritual level, at the divine level. So yoga is that. And that's exactly what UN stands for, United Nations Organization. Uniting all the people of the world, removing their poverty, removing the scourge of war. If that is the mission of UNO, that's exactly what yoga stands for. And India has a rich culture of over 5,000 years of peace and going beyond the physical level, going to the spiritual and the divine level. That was the great vision of Maharishis. And that's in fact all the religious world leaders of people who have founded the religion, they had this concept. All of that started for world peace, started for individual peace. And World Community Service Center is working towards that. So there, we don't talk about nationality, we don't talk about religion, we don't talk about language, we don't talk about subgroups or political leanings, nothing. You are a world citizen, you're most welcome. And this great vision of Maharishi in United Nations started flowering after 50 years. And today we are celebrating the 6th International Yoga Day in Qatar. One more beautiful thing is happening. We may think it's an accident, but I think they're all according to the thoughts of great masters and all of us. Every day, what lakhs of people have been asking for world peace in our prayers, in our meditations, in our group discussions. We always start with, may the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. And so, in the Security Council itself, India has been re-elected. So India will be a part of the Security Council, and let us all hope. Again, Norway, I was telling you, Norway is where the Nobel Peace Prize is given. And then we have Kenya, we have Ireland. So all these countries, plus the existing non-permanent member and the 5 permanent members. Everyone wants peace. At the world level, at the national level, individual level, we all want world peace, but we don't know exactly how to go about it. So just like we talk about sin imprints, it is the imprints of previous generations, all of them are there. So it's not very easy to bring a solution immediately. It takes time. And Swamiji's own words that Security Council should become really a powerful organization providing peace for the whole world, providing security for everyone. So let us all pledge, let us all make it even stronger, our thought force even stronger, that let world peace, the whole world be happy, peaceful, prosperous. Let there not be unemployment, let there not be people suffering from this type of infectious diseases, which can be cured if all of us look at the world as a single unit. Without the countries losing their sovereignty, nowhere the sovereignty of country will be reduced, nowhere the individual freedom will be affected, but still all of us putting in the divinity in us, if that comes about, and if we can reduce the animality in us, that's all, only that transformation. And that is exactly what the spirituality is, that is what our meditation is, common to everyone. We all have a body, we all have a mind, we all have a life energy, and we also have divinity in all of us. In fact, not only within us, everywhere. Divinity itself is present as things and living beings. So if this reality becomes a part of our vision, part of our practice, then only individual peace is possible. Then only peace in the family is possible. Family in your village, family in your country, in your state, and in the whole world is possible. So while at United Nations certain things are to be done by leaders of the entire world, and they are doing their best, but with that, all our positive thoughts also put in, that good thoughts will come into implementation. And our own purpose of life is to remove our unwanted imprints and go towards divinity. So it's a win-win situation, just like some time back, Muthu talked about that win-win situation. This is exactly win-win situation, not win-win situation. Win, 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 win goes on. Win at all levels. Even animals will be happy if we don't fight, if we don't kill, things like that. You know, every living being will be raising their hands in salutation that here is a system. The atmosphere will be happy. The sun and the moon will be happy. That atmosphere will be happy if, and we have that providence. Human beings have been given that providence. Unfortunately, due to various reasons, we have come out of that. We have come in a different direction. Now direction is there. And coronavirus itself is a situation which can be made positive. In fact, sometimes nature is a mother, nature is our mother, but still when the child is sick, she will call a doctor and give injection to us. She does not want to give pain to us, but she wants to remove our disease. And that is exactly what nature does sometimes. If we learn the lesson properly, if we learn it properly, learn the lesson properly, then Mother Nature need not have to give another injection to us. It is possible. And today, the world is awake to it. That something is wrong in our way of living, something is wrong in our way of thinking. And we need a change. And they're looking for a change. And World Community Service Center is offering it on a plate. But let us have compassion to everyone. No harm to anyone at all. If people are not accepting it, they're all our own brothers and sisters. They may require more time. Be with them. Be one with them. In one of the songs, he says, Kutravali Pavi, and that is, there is no criminal at all. See the vision, see the broad-mindedness, the magnanimity of Maharishi. If at all somebody is a criminal, it is the society which has created a criminal out of him. It has not provided him proper education. It has not given him proper awareness. It has not provided what is basically required for him. So society is responsible. So we as members of the society accept even the anti-social people, and just like Swamiji came down to our level and lifted us, we should have that kindness, that understanding, and take everyone along with us. And so in Security Council, in General Assembly, in International Court of Justice, let them all be powerful. Again, without affecting the sovereignty of any nation, any group. Win-win situation. So if these international organizations of peace, if they become powerful, then we don't have to have separate protection rings. If there's a good police station, I don't have to bother about my protection in my house. So if we can have such a system, then we are not enemies at all. We are coming from the same nature, mother, brothers and sisters. And even other living beings are only our cousins. That's all. First cousin, second. A monkey may be a first cousin, a cat may be a second cousin, that's all. And we have that responsibility. Human beings have been given that power to not only help ourselves, to help the entire living beings. So today, we as World Community Service Center members, as Maharishi's disciples, let us all be trying to fulfill his dream by first elevating ourselves. let us become more human, let us become more divine. Every day we have to make an attempt because there are strong imprints in us. And take our family along, our people along. And then the day is not far off. Maybe it'll take a decade, a couple of decades, doesn't matter. But there is a solution. And in our lives, let us do something in this direction. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you, sir, for your speech. And I would like to, on this international celebration of the 6th Yoga Day, you basically point out the salient features of the purpose of yoga. Yoga means unite, which is human nature and society. And you also gave the vision of Swamiji on world peace, and also touched upon the role of UN on world peace and India's participation in it. And also, as we WCC members, what could we do? We all can do at a certain level, at our home level or wherever we can contribute to the world peace. That's what you had sensed. So we are happy for this speech. So hope we will follow these little concepts towards world peace. We'll follow some actions in our day-to-day daily life, and that attain world peace. And also, as he said first, we'll keep in our blessings always this world's peace. So someday at the point of time, world peace will definitely be achieved. It will not be a dream. Once a dream, it will definitely come in. Thank you, sir. We will now bless Balachandran sir for his speech today. Let's all come to Turiyam for a minute. Be blessed by the divine. Let's bless Professor Balachandran. Professor Balachandran, be blessed by the divine. Professor Balachandran and his health, be blessed by the divine. Professor Balachandran and his family, be blessed by his divine. Professor Balachandran's spiritual work, be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir. And again, once again, I thank everybody for attending this Yoga Day celebration, also participating in the discussion. And there was a very heavy participation in the chat by the members. It was very nice. And I would like to conclude this class by doing the world blessing prayer. May the world be blessed with plenty of rain. The farmers work to produce an abundance of grain. Let the practitioners of all trades flourish and grow, and cultures progress through the need to share and grow. Let the rules be beyond feelings of all evils made to disappear. Illiteracy, poverty, and all evils made to disappear. Let the true lamp of knowledge burn steady and light. Our sense of duty guide us along pathways always right. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very well, madam. Thanks.